All right, YouTube, working with a Diamond 80 or York Diamond 80 gas furnace here. Just got home from vacation and got a notification when I was gone that it wasn't working, or it wasn't, temperature was below what it was set at. So I finally got home here and troubleshooting it. And mine's set up sideways here. I've seen that some people have them vertical. By no means am I an HVAC guy or anything like that, but I do know how to fix some stuff, so excuse me. So the first thing I did was look at YouTube and saw some great videos on there about what you can be looking for. You know, they say that these igniters up in there, I don't know if you can see that, but that guy, that's the igniter. I guess they go out, and then this little, where's it at? This thing here is the flame sensor, or I've heard it referred to as a couple different things, but it detects whether or not there's a flame hitting it, and then if there's not, then it'll shut off the gas. It has like a safety feature. So anyway, I didn't mess with that yet. I did change this out because I had a couple of them down here. Then the other thing were these switches here that detect if flames essentially start rolling back out of here. Then these things will trip, and it keeps it from, you know, having the flame come back out. And that can be caused, I guess, from these inducer motors not working properly or something like that, because this thing's designed to suck the air out and keep a good draft going in there for those flames. But anyway, I tried that, tried the igniter, I tried these switches. They were all in. They didn't look like they were messed up. There's no wires melted or anything like that, so it doesn't look like it's been getting hot in here. So the next thing I did was I wanted to make sure this motor was working, because if this thing isn't working, then what it does is when it kicks on, when you click your thermostat on, or to call for heat, this thing will turn on first to get a draft going through here, and then this little guy detects it somehow. And once that thing detects it, then it will tell the rest of the control board to continue on with its sequence. So what I did first was test these two black wires coming out of here, right here. There you go. They're right here on this clip. So I tested that first, and I had it was alternating currents. There's 120 volts here. I just held my tester on there. You know, I just got a typical voltmeter, and I just put the two prongs, you know, on there. I put the, I don't think it really matters, but I did left on the white and red on the yellow. And while I was holding them on there, I flipped the, by the way, you want to shut off your, if you're in here poking around, that's my switch, the main power to this thing. So you want to shut that off, find that and shut that off before you start poking around. But once I did that, I had my voltmeter on here, turned the thermostat on, because I have a remote one on my phone, turned it on to call for heat. And when the unit turned on, this thing I had voltage going to right here. So that means that there's only this little chunk of wire here going into the motor that had voltage. So that tells me that the control board is working correctly, because it's turning on voltage over to this. However, the motor wasn't turning on. So I thought, well, maybe I need to pull this motor out and either get it tested or maybe search for a new one. You know, there's the numbers on there. But I went to take it off, and you have these two lines coming in here for the line in and your return. And then, I don't know if you can see this green, that's the ground, right? Well, it was up here on this screw. Well, I unscrewed that screw, and it was stuck on there. I don't know, you can kind of see, this is a 5/16 screw, and it was just rusted from, I don't know, I'm in Alaska, so it must have some kind of precipitation. But look at that screw. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, that thing's just a rust bucket. So I tried scraping it off, and I was sitting here scraping it off and kind of cleaning it up with some sandpaper and stuff like that. And started looking around, and I thought, well, I'll just try another screw and see what happens. So that's what I did. Oops, that was my headlamp. So anyway, the ground is now running down to a different screw. This one's nice and clean and fresh, and there's no contamination on it or anything like that. So I put it on there and turned the power back on, called for heat on the thermostat on my phone, boom, kicked right on. It did its whole sequence. This motor turned on, it ran all the way through, and it turned right on, and it's working great now. So anyway, hope this helps somebody. These things can be a pain in the butt, especially when you come home from vacation. So hope it helps.